on YouTube, so you're welcome to begin anytime you'd like.
Okay, I was just watching a couple more people coming in, but welcome everybody. And Raymond, Trustee Raj's clock has told us it's 5 o'clock and we should get going, so we will. Welcome everybody. I'd like to start by saying that we're giving thanks and acknowledge that the lands on which we work and learn are the traditional territories of the Gitxsan, Haisla, Nisga'a, Wet'suwet'en, and Tsimshian peoples. We're honored to be working with their children and privileged to live on these lands. I have a couple of speaking notes to share with you after our introductions, and we'll start with introducing the Board of Trustees and then our school district administrative staff who have joined us. And I think I've captured 5 guests that we'll welcome to our meeting tonight. So starting off with, I'm Margaret Warkup. I'm your board trustee for Terrace and your board chair. And next on my screen is our new trustee, Ed. Would you like to introduce yourself? Oh, you're muted, Ed.
Being bad again. I'm Ed Harrison. I'm the new trustee from Terrace. I'd like to welcome you to the meeting.
Thank you. Next is Trustee Raymond Raj. Raymond.
Hello everyone. I'm Raymond Raj, trustee from Kitimat and vice chair. Welcome you all.
Sandy.
Sandy Watson, trustee for Thornhill.
Karen.
Good afternoon. I'm Karen Yonkman. I'm trustee from Kitimat.
Shar.
Hi everyone, Shar McCrory, trustee from the Hazeltons and Kitwanga.
And Angela with the sunshine on your face.
Sorry. Hello, I'm Angela Brandon-Newser. I'm trustee from Stewart.
Okay. And we'd like to introduce our district staff, and we'll start with our superintendent of schools. Janet, did you want to say hello?
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Janet Meyer. I'm the superintendent of schools for Coast Mountain School District.
And we have our secretary treasurer. Would you like to say hello? There we are.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Ginger Fuller. I'm secretary treasurer for School District 82.
And Director of Human Resources, Kieran, you're somewhere here.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Kiran and I'm Director of Human Resources. Thank you.
And our Director of Instruction, Indigenous Education.
Hello, I'm Agnes Casgreen. I'm the Director of Instruction for Indigenous Education.
Welcome. Director of Instruction, Graduation and Innovation.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Geraldine Lawler, and I'm Director of Instruction for Graduation and Innovation. Welcome. Thanks.
Director of Instruction, Learner Support.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Juliana Carls, and it's a pleasure to be here.
And Rob, I have your right name, Director of Facility Services.
Yes, thank you. I'm Rob Shibley, and I am the Director of Facility Services for the school district.
And our Executive Assistant, Carol, do you want to introduce yourself, or has she got a camera with her? She's too busy doing notes. Carol Gagnon is assisting us greatly as usual. Thank you. So we're pleased to have a number of community representatives join us. And Janet, if you can double check to make sure I don't miss anybody as I go down the list of participants, but I believe we have somebody from Glenvowel. We have Mark Zielinski from Kitimat, Jocelyn, and Jacob Jantz. Did I pronounce that right, Jacob? Welcome to being guests at our meeting tonight.
And we'll have a question. Councillor Gaufney from Kitimat as well.
Oh, okay. I didn't see him on my list. Thank you. Yeah. Thank you. Welcome, everybody. I have a couple of announcements to make first, and then we'll move on to the agenda. And the first of the agenda is when some of our public members may have questions. Firstly, I want to celebrate. We were doing strategic planning looking at the next 4 to 5 years and the future of where we may be going with public education. The work that was done in the last couple of months and just recently this last Saturday to develop our strategic plan is now in the formative stages where we're putting all of that information together. And as soon as the plan comes together more, gets more written, it will be shared with the public. And we appreciate very much all of the input people have given to us to be able to start pulling it together and writing a plan and getting things in place for being a strategic organization. We heard loud and clear about how important it is to have interactive, hands-on, play-based, outdoor learning opportunities, and the opportunities for every student to succeed is the best that they can. So we'll be working on that and be sharing it with you as soon as we can. Now in May, we have a number of things that we can celebrate. First of all, May 1st is Principal and Vice Principals Day, and it was celebrated then, where we recognize the importance of our principals and vice principals throughout, from elementary to high school. We would like to acknowledge our heartfelt gratitude for all of the hardworking and dedicated principals and vice principals that have been in our schools for the last 14 difficult and trying months with the pandemic. They all play a very big role in making sure that our students are well taken care of in all of our schools each and every day and making a difference in the lives of our children. May 3rd to 9th is Mental Health Week in Canada, and this year's theme is Get Real About How You Feel. And it's a very important message in this time of pandemic when a lot of us are feeling stress. We are hearing about people that are feeling stressed, and we need to look after each other. And one of the best ways for that is that if you are feeling a challenge or upset or emotion or whatever, do share it. Get real about how you feel, be honest with yourself and be honest with your friends so we can all support each other. May 4th is also Teacher Appreciation Day, and we acknowledged and celebrated Teacher Appreciation Day on May 4th by thanking all of our teachers for their hard work and commitment to ensuring every child has the opportunity to be safe in their school environments and have success. The sacrifices our teachers have made for our students, especially during the pandemic, are immeasurable. It's really hard for us as trustees to put into words how appreciative we are of all the work that's been done and all the caring that has been shown. A couple of fun things coming up. Disney's High School Virtual Musical is on May 15th. I have my ticket to listen to it. It's a production of Disney's High School Musical. It's at 7 o'clock. It's online. And you can go to the district website and it'll give you the link so that you can buy your ticket and enjoy an evening of watching a great performance. And then there's Gitxsan Language Family Bingo on May the 27th. I've been hearing feedback from others who have done the bingo games that they're great fun and a learning experience. And it is also on our website if you wish to come and join that language learning. We have an upcoming non-instructional day on May the 28th that way. And now Janet is going to celebrate with us. One of the things that we're attending to and always want to be focused on is recruitment and retention. And our district staff have put together what I've heard, because I haven't seen it yet, a great recruitment video. So we're going to have the opportunity to hear that, listen to it first if she can. She looks puzzled there, but if she can figure out how to get it up on our screen, we will do that. And then we'll call the meeting to order.
Margaret, may I just add a couple statements about the recruitment and retention video?
You certainly can. Celebrate. Mm-hmm.
I just wanted to acknowledge the work that was done on this video. It was the brainchild of the Human Resources Department, and they went out and secured a videographer who has created the piece that we're about to show you. So kudos to HR in their selection of videographer. I think you will find it quite enjoyable. And
oh, there we go.
Coast Mountain School District is the most beautiful place on earth. We have opportunities in this school district that you can't get other places. The mountains, the rivers, the chances to explore all kinds of environments is all available. Coast Mountain School District is physically the size of Finland. We enroll 4,000 students, and 46% of our students are of Indigenous ancestry. Additionally, we work collaboratively with 10 local Indigenous bands.
So I came to Terrace for my practicum when I was completing my Bachelor of Education, and I loved it so much I decided to apply for a job and stay the following year. I was able to make a lot of really close friends. There's a lot of young professionals in Terrace, and there's lots of opportunities for things to do together, like live music events and sports teams to join, so it was really easy to make a good group of friends here.
When we came across this position up here in northern BC, it was amazing to me that right away, in my 5th year teaching, that I was able to jump into my dream job. It's exactly the lifestyle we're looking for. The mountains are amazing. Like everywhere you look, it's just the view is gorgeous. The small town community feeling that I grew up with to this big city amenities, so you don't feel like you're so isolated.
We have grocery chains, we have real Canadian wholesalers. All of those things that you would expect in a big sort of city are here, but they're sort of compacted into a smaller area and very easily accessible. So
You can do anything from fishing, hunting, hiking. In the winter, you can go skiing, and that's cross country or downhill, snowshoeing, anything, and it's all right there. My kids went sledding. It was less than a 5-minute drive to a really great hill. Everything is just right there. Nature is right there. You walk out the door and you're surrounded by mountains. It's absolutely stunning.
I think just always wanting to live in some place that had a smaller community, that was tight-knit, people got along, were friendly, was something that drew me up here. Being a big outdoors person, loving to bike, loving to swim, loving to hike, Hazelton was perfect for me to come down here compared to the larger city that I was previously living in.
Here in Hazelton, the district supports new ideas, and they are able to help you with monetary support and education support to make sure your ideas become a reality. I've introduced a plethora of 21st century competencies such as robotic competitions, 3D printing, CNC machines, lots of different programming languages, and most importantly, we've introduced the concept of cybersecurity.
When it comes to my career, it gives me more ability to try things. The school is really open to teachers trying new things like taking your kids outside and having your kids learn in new and diverse ways. You're not really bogged down by a bigger school bureaucracy or something like that.
Coast Mountain School District is an organization that works collaboratively, cooperatively with its employees, and allows people the autonomy to think outside the box at all times, keeping students and their learning as the most important aspect of decision-making.
Oh, thank you, Janet and team, and very much thank you to our Human Resources Department that really worked hard to get a great video done. Any other comments anybody would like to quickly make about the video? If not, we'll call the meeting into order. Don't see anybody waving. I'm out that way. So initially, as the meeting is called to order, I would need a motion to have the meeting by electronic means. Can I have a mover and a seconder, please? Trustee Raymond, and a seconder. I can't see everybody's hand. Trustee Ed Harrison. And if I hear no objections, the meeting is called to order and we can do it by electronic means, and we have a quorum. I need a motion to approve the agenda, please. Do I see any hands up? Janet, do you see any hands on the other screen? I need
Yes,
three.
I think it was moved by trustee Brandon User and seconded by trustee Watson.
Okay, thank you. Any objections? Hearing none or seeing none waving on the screen that I'm trying to go back and forth with, the agenda is approved. Now is question period. We didn't have any questions come in ahead of time, but do any of our guests have any comment or question? I don't see anything. Welcome to the meeting. And we'll move forward to approval of the minutes of the prior meeting. I need a motion for approval, and I'll ask Janet to help on a couple of screens here. Can I have a mover? Char?
Char and trustee Karen Yonkman.
Karen, thank you. Second. Any questions on the minutes, errors, or all approved? Yes. Oh, trustee Raymond Raj has his hand up.
Yeah, because I wasn't here when you acknowledged the territory. The territories are correct, but I think I gave the wrong location. It should read Langley, not Surrey. I was in Langley. That's all.
Okay.
My mistake.
Thank you, trustee Raymond. We'll correct that so we know where you were, but we're glad you're home now. Okay. Approval of the minutes. I don't see anybody objecting. Okay. Receipt of the in-camera minutes. We need a mover and a seconder.
Moved by trustee Brandon User and seconded by trustee.
Thank you, McCrory. All in favor? I see no objections coming up. If I call the vote, no, they are passed. Business arising from the minutes, there was none. Correspondence received, there was none. We have the Superintendent of Schools monthly report for May 2021. I need a motion of receipt, please. Trustee Raymond, I see his hand for mover, and seconder, trustee Karen. Any objections? Don't see anybody speaking up. It's received. Janet, did you have any comment on your report or anything you want to celebrate and share?
I'd just like to acknowledge that while a portion of the superintendent's report for May dealt with one of our communities, I'd like to acknowledge that there are innovative practices happening across our district, and there's only so much space on a superintendent's report to cover everything. So recognizing that innovation happens across the district. Thank you.
Thank you. We can move on to standing committee reports, the business committee reports. Trustee Raymond Raj, the floor is yours.
Hello, everybody. Business committee report 11.1.1, business committee meeting minutes. This meeting was held on May 5th at the school board office. And this is on pages 16 to 18 of your agenda package. I move that the minutes of the business committee meeting held on May 5, 2021 be received for information.
Seconder, trustee Head Harrison. All in favor, no objections. Not seeing any, they're received. Thank you.
Agenda item 11.1.2, quarterly financial statements, March 31st, 2021. In accordance to the budget monitoring and reporting guidelines proposed by the Financial Health Working Group for the school districts of BC, all school districts must provide the Board of Education or committee of the board with at minimum quarterly financial reports which indicate forecasted result compared with actual budget and offer a discussion and analysis as necessary to communicate financial performance as key risks. Quarterly result and projections to June 30th should be provided at September 30th December 31st, and March 31st of each year. This will allow the board to monitor the school district's financial position throughout the year on an ongoing basis and the expected year-end position. A test for the board's consideration is the quarterly financial statement as at March 31st, 2021 for Coast Mountain School District 82. The Business Committee reviewed the quarterly financial statements at its meeting held on May 5, 2021 and brings forward to the board for information. This is in your agenda on pages 19 to 23. I move that the board receive for information the quarterly financial statements as at March 31st, 2021.
Seconder. Trustee Watson, thank you. Any questions? Any objections to receiving the report? I see none. The report is received.
The next item on the agenda is Ministry of Education Adjusted Funding Allocations, February 2021, and this is item 11.1.3. Reference the attached interim operating grants following the February 2021 and enrollment count for the 2020 and 2021 school year for Coast Mountain School District 82 as received from the Ministry of Education's Funding and Allocation Branch. An updated 2020-2021 Ministry Operating Grants summary for the Coast Mountain School District 82 is also provided, reflecting the changes based on the adjusted funding allocations. The Business Committee reviewed the February 2021 adjusted funding allocations at its meeting held on May 5, 2021 and brings forward to the board for information. And this is in your package on pages 24 to 26. I move that the board receive for information the Ministry of Education adjusted funding allocations for February 2021.
A seconder for the motion. Trustee McCrory. Any questions? Any objections? The report is received. Your last item there, Trustee Raj.
Next agenda item is 11.1.4, rescind first reading, new policy 2040, whistleblower protection. So maybe some people will be wondering, rescind. So the information is on pages 27 to 32 in your agenda package. The background discussion is the Public Interest Disclosure Act, PIDA, came into force on December 1, 2019, and the intended purpose of the PIDA is to establish whistleblower protection for employees in the broader public sector. In light of the requirement for school districts to comply with the PIDA, by December 31st, 2021, BCPC has worked with legal counsel to provide school districts with template documentation that meets the requirement of legislation. A PIDA policy toolkit developed by BCPC, those of you who don't know what BCPC is, it's British Columbia Public Sector Employers Association, was provided to all school districts on April 21st, 2021, including a template policy, template administrative procedure, and template annual report required to be filed by the superintendent. The policy toolkit is inclusive of the most up-to-date PIDA legislation to ensure that CMSD 82 meets all legislative requirements. It is proposed that new policy 2040, whistleblower protection, which received first reading on December 16, 2020, be rescinded and replaced by a new policy 2040, which will be called Public Interest Disclosure Act, that will be presented to the Policy Development and Review Committee at its June 9, 2021 meeting, and then from there it goes through the process. The Policy Development and Review Committee and the Business Committee reviewed this matter at their respective meetings and forward to the board with a recommendation to rescind the first reading of new policy 2040, whistleblower protection. I move that the board rescind the first reading of new policy 2040, whistleblower protection, that will be replaced by new policy 2040, Public Interest Disclosure Act.
A seconder for Raymond Raj's, Trustee Raj's motion, seconded by Sandy Watson, trustee. Any question? All in favor? Nobody objects? Nobody's waving? Motion is passed. Education Committee report by Trustee Shar McCrory.
Hi, everyone. I'm bringing forward meeting agenda item 11.2.1. And the recommended action is that the minutes of the Education Committee meeting held on May 5th, 2021 be received for information. So moved.
Seconder by Trustee Angela Branduser. Any questions? If everybody agrees and no objections, it's received.
Trustee McCrory has her hand up.
Oh, sorry, your hand's up. Go ahead. Yep.
Yeah. I would just like to do a verbal report out, if I may.
Certainly, please do.
Okay,
celebrate.
so-
There's lots of good stuff there.
Yes. So I'd like to start by saying that every time I attend these meetings, which I'm really thoroughly enjoying, I am in awe of the level of commitment, dedication, and talent of not only all of our staff, but our students as well. So kudos to you all, because every time I attend these meetings, I am so moved and empowered by you all and the great work that's going on in the entire district. And as Superintendent, what's her name there, Janet Myers said, the innovative practices that are throughout the district are so apparent, and I really encourage people to read through the PowerPoints and the minutes of these meetings, the education meetings in particular, because the work that's going on throughout the district is amazing. So in summary, Parkside Secondary, Jane Arbuckle presented on the trauma-informed school that she has, and basically 1 in 4 of the students have experienced a traumatic event. With practicing trauma-informed school philosophies, their school has increased attendance in both students and with staff. They practice daily check-ins with the students. They practice gratitude. They practice reflection. And obviously from the documentation that's in the report that she brought forward, it's very well received by everyone. So kudos to Parkside. New Hazelton Elementary is doing dynamic technologies with Melanie Miller and Angie Olson. And with that, they're implementing innovative ways with language, culture, and technology. So they have iPad technology for Indigenous art. They have longhouse designs. They have a 3D printer. They're engaging students in so many different ways, including language boards that are interactive, and they print out the words in Gitsanima. It's just amazing. And then further, Caledonia Secondary, Davy Desange is doing English First Peoples grade 10 in an innovative, engaging way with students again, where he's introduced like current stuff that kids are into, like podcasts and graphic novels, and just in, kind of doing things the way kids understand in a great way, and so passionate about doing it with them that the engagement is really good, and lots of kids are attending that class. So lots of great things. And then the other great things that are happening more at our level are the mental health supports and toolkits that are available and went out to all the schools, because we also all have to be mindful about mental health, especially during these times. So we had a presentation from Director Nykars on that. And finally, it's Essentials for Aspiring Student Leaders that was brought forward by Geraldine Lawlor, and it's with the Principals and Vice Principals Association in kind of a mentorship, and there's staff from all communities in our district attending these sessions and learning about leadership qualities. So amazing work. I love the education committee, I'm a little biased. So kudos to the district and thank you. And sorry, it was a little long.
No, it's okay, Shar. It's great to celebrate all of the great things that are happening. And yes, so read through those reports in your agendas. And great, thank you. So next, I need a motion to receive the board chair's report of May 2021. I need a mover and a seconder. Who do I see? Do you see anybody, Janet? Nobody wants my report?
Trustee McCrory, seconded by Trustee Brandon User.
Okay. I'd like to speak just briefly to my report that's in your package to read, because I wanted to just emphasize that during the strategic planning process and during the budget development process that we're in, we've been receiving a lot of really insightful questions, comments from our students that are on the committee for budget, from our other stakeholders, and from our staff and our trustees. And one of the questions that I thought a lot about was questions about what are we doing for advocacy? What are we doing provincially to influence quality education? And one of the things that I'd like to celebrate tonight, and I got to see Shar's face here, is that I really appreciate that and thank you for, and we have a letter from the president of the British Columbia School Trustees Association thanking Shar for all the work that she's done in the last year on recruitment and retention, and the committee that she worked on in terms of recruiting and retaining educators for our system. So thank you, Shar, for participating provincially and making that happen. And there's been some good advice come down and recommendations and influence provincially so that we can recruit qualified teachers. The other one that I wanted to just recognize is that all of us are doing, all trustees are trying to influence quality education, and Trustee Ed Harrison, who's brand new, stepped up to be vice chair of our Northwest branch and get involved with the regional communications and work that we do so that we can speak with one voice about our uniqueness in the Northwest and how we may have unique needs and we want to be heard. So thank you, Ed, for doing that. And lastly, I wanted to thank all the schools who, and I know our Carol Gagnon has helped organize and made it happen, but as a trustee, I have really appreciated getting all of the school newsletters. Because of COVID, it's not as easy to come to the schools. It's not as easy to hear what's happening. And the newsletters are sharing some really great things that are happening in schools and the support that our teachers, our educators, our staff, everyone are giving for the safety and the health of our students and great activities. So that's my report. And then we have the time for other trustees who may want to give a report. Anybody wish to speak up?
Chair Warcup, can I just ask that you vote to receive your report?
Oh, I thought I did. Sorry, I just got right into my spiel. Okay, can we have an approval of receiving my report? Nobody's saying no. It's received. Thank you. Yeah, I did that last meeting too. I'll get better as I get to the end of these days. Any trustee wish to have a report?
Yeah, it's Karen.
Okay.
To speak on a couple of things. On April 23rd, I attended a virtual professional development session with Brad Marsden from Gitxsan Nation. And it was building a better understanding of the collective trauma that has plagued Indigenous peoples of Canada. I found it really informative to learn how historical events have affected the Indigenous people and how these events continue to affect those people, their children, and the grandchildren. I would like to learn more, and I really hope there's more sessions coming up just to gain a better understanding It was really, really well done. And also on May 7th, last Friday, I attended virtually the Northern BC SOGI Summit. It was awesome. It was so good. I was really, really impressed. There was students, teachers, and other interested community members from the whole region, Kitimat, Haida Gwaii, Fort St. John, Prince George, everywhere. It was really well done. There was an opening session, and there were several other sessions throughout the day where you had a choice. There was 3 different breakout rooms. Just really well done. I learned so much. Yeah, we had a presenter from Terrace, and she did a fantastic job. She did a wonderful presentation. And if anybody has a chance, I think it would be a good presentation for us as a board, or any other schools that would like to learn more about this subject and how we can support our students and staff and community members who belong to this group. Just the positive energy and the really good information. It was well worth my time. And yeah, I was really happy to have had the opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you, Trustee Yonkman. I see Trustee McCrory's hand up. Are you next?
Yeah. So I'd just like to echo first your newsletter plug, because they are fantastic. And I would like to give a shout out, and I'm not going to name names because there were several students in our district who were recipients of the iSpark National Honors Regional Premiers Awards for Indigenous Youth Excellence in Sport. Big handle, big title. We have some amazing athletes in our district, and kudos to all of you that were recipients of that award. Way to go.
Thank you, Trustee McCrory. Other trustees, anything to report? I don't see any hands up. No, Janet, we don't see anybody. No, okay. If I can then have a motion for adjournment. And I still don't see any hands up. No, Trustee Yonkman and Wattsman, the meeting is adjourned. Take care, everybody. Be safe, and thank you for all you do.
Thank you for sharing the video. It was excellent. So Mark here. Thank you.
Thank you, Mark. Yeah.
Thank you, Councillor Zielinski.
Thank you.
Okay, be safe, everybody. Enjoy your evening in the sunshine.